way to the airport to drop off Dre's Jeep for his Toro for the next person who has it rented out. This is my first time doing it. He always does it and I follow him, but he's at work, so I have to do it for him. If I'm dropping it off, do I get the commission? I should at least get a piece of that check. What y'all think? And did I tell y'all about this necklace? I didn't, because I know I didn't. Dre bought me this necklace when we went to medieval times because I told my story about the concession stands a couple videos back if you haven't seen it. And he said he felt so sorry for me that when he was buying the kids their stuff, he bought me something because when I grew up, I never got anything from the concession stand. So he said, because you grew up so poor, I bought you this. He's so sweet in a backwards kind of way. To the point of this comment sparked this video, but this video is not about this comment, so please don't take offense. What I want to say to the point of this comment, yes, being a parent is a relationship, being a friend is a relationship, being a coworker is a relationship, being in a relationship, it is a relationship. Y'all take effort and they all are going to give you growth opportunities. But when I speak about relationships, I'm speaking about intimate relationships, I am only advising from the space of marriage. What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, and reposting videos with your community so that we can grow. If you are not married, you are single. That is what my sister used to say to me, and I never understood it because I'm trying to give my all to these relationships, and my sister would always come back and say, if you are not married, you are single. I start with that intro with this comment because when I focus on marriage, because the only person that should enter your life that is worth you evolving who you are. Everybody's like, don't let nobody change you. Yes, for your forever, you must change because you come in as two separate individuals, and two separate individuals will not survive forever. But you know what will survive forever? Two individuals who come together and do the evolutionary work to become one. And that is the work that I am talking about, evolutionary change. That challenge, that's what I'm talking about. And the only person who deserves that is your forever, which is marriage. Now, relationships. Let's look at relationships. Why are relationships hard? Why are relationships challenging? It's because you are in a relationship with someone you should not be with. The work shouldn't be trying to be together. That's what you guys are looking at as, oh, this is so difficult. Not you specifically, the commenter, but in general, oh, this is so difficult. Why? Because you're trying to force a round peg into a square hole. It's not going to work, especially if no one in the relationship is trying to do the work. Previous video gives a very strong explanation of what we all should be looking for, per me, when we're going to identify someone to be in a relationship with and someone to marry. Women dictate who you are in a relationship with. Men dictate who you're going to marry. And I don't know how that works with same-sex relationships. I'm going to say masculine energy versus feminine energy. I don't know. Whoever identifies as the feminine determines who is going to be in the relationship. Whoever identifies in the masculine is going to determine whether that turns into a marriage. Again, perfectly explained in the previous video. Relationships should not be challenging. Relationships should not be work. Relationships should actually be fun because relationships are your classroom. Relationships are where you learn to be married. Not learn to be married like let's play house in my Nate Dogg voice. Rest in peace. So now that we've created this classroom so that we can now receive our lessons, every instructor, i.e. boyfriend, girlfriend, every instructor that comes in to teach us something, we need to go through this open-minded, excited to learn, because all of these lessons that we're learning are going to be skills that we will need to carry on into our forever. And because you did the work to be okay with yourself and attracting yourself to the love that you deserve and the love that you desire, now who you're in a relationship with, it's not challenging. It's not hard, it's fun, and you're not going in, this is the one. You don't know who this is. This is a teacher. Treat them like a teacher. The difficulties and the challenges that we run into in these relationships is we treat all these teachers like our wives or our husbands. No, they're a teacher. Treat them like a teacher. Show them gratitude, show them appreciation, take whatever there is to learn from this lesson, and be okay with moving on to your next lesson within your relationship classroom. See, we cry over these breakups and all this stuff because we are not looking at them as teachers. We're looking at them as the one. But who said they were the one except for society, who wants to keep women's numbers down and keep their legs closed so that one man can enjoy them. So if you give yourself to more than one person, so you must save yourself for the one. So women especially send themselves to all this, oh my God, well, it's me. We send ourselves through that because we are under the brainwashing that this is the one. Every relationship must be the relationship. But if we know that this is a classroom setting that we have set up, every relationship is a lesson. So because we know that relationships are lessons, we should stop going into relationships and looking at our teachers as our spouses for forever. That's where the hardness comes. That's where the challenges comes. That's where the difficulties come, because we identified teachers as forever. So per my understanding and per the Bible, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So sis, who told you that was your husband? Did he? Society? Who told you? Because that sounds like Heartbreak 101. Focus on the lesson and not the vessel. Women choose the teacher. Women choose the teacher because they've done the work within to really truly attract into themselves what they deserve. That means every teacher that comes into their classroom is someone worthy to be the one, but the one determines if she is. So I know our ego feels a kind of way when we say that we have to wait to be chosen, but that's the way it goes. He who finds a wife. It's all in the Bible. They just perverted it. So to your point and to the point, unless you're married, you're single, because the challenges that I'm talking about in my videos are challenges that you face in marriage. The challenges that you face in relationships are because you're not with the right person or you're not doing the work on yourself. Because if you did the work on yourself, you would not be in a relationship that you are constantly experiencing challenges in. The challenges that I'm talking about are, how do I take my perspective and your perspective, and how do we bring those perspectives together to create a union? And I understand we're all so thirsty for a relationship. We always want to identify something as the worst case scenario, as the only representation, but even at the far extreme, there's something at the infancy. And at the infancy, if you find yourself in a relationship and you have identified that this is not your relationship and you're still in it, you are thirsty. So if you could stop looking your nose down at other people and saying, ooh, they so thirsty, you actually start looking at yourself, because maybe their thirst is a reflection back to you to show you your thirst. And now you start doing the work to make sure that you are starting to attract what you truly do deserve, instead of pretending, because that's what we do. We pretend. And it's nobody's fault. Who demonstrated what a healthy, loving relationship is supposed to look like? Our classroom experience, our very first classroom, is our home. And many of us are treated as children. We can't even speak in our classroom. We got to sit and be dictated to. Our parents were our first teachers. Our parents were our first relationships. Our parents were our first friendships. Our parents were our first everything. And depending on how our parents treated us and the environment that we grew up in, we took that and processed it in our brain, and then we took that and we went out into the world, and that's what you're letting enter into your relationship classroom. So if you as a child did not grow up in a space where you are able to have within what you can give without, you are now an adult who does not have the capacity within to give without. Just because you aged out of the system, i.e. you went from child to adult, if during your 18 years classroom, your parents did not take advantage of that time and teach you what you needed to know to be a healthy, functioning adult individually as well in a relationship, you don't have the capacity. So that is the first level of awareness that we should have. And if we had that level of awareness, relationships shouldn't be difficult. Relationships shouldn't be hard. Relationships shouldn't be challenging. Marriage, because you're becoming one. Relationships, definitely not. Why argue with your teacher when you could just get a new one? All the world is a classroom. Men and women, merely teachers. If you fixate on your teacher, that's your choice. And men, I know you be out here like, man, she just gone. She ain't my wife. So you treat women like crap. But guess what? You find the woman that finally inspires you and you're like, yeah, this is my wife. How you gonna treat her? Because every woman before her argued with you and fought with you, and this is a difficulty in the relationships, and trying to tell you this is how I want to be treated, and you're like, you're just a gun, you don't deserve my respect. Why are you messing with her? Because you're a whore or a breeder? Because you ain't got no self-respect? Why are you with her? She don't deserve your respect. And how does that reflect your respect for self back to you? If you're allowing people who you don't even respect into your space. So stop wasting your time, because when you do have your wife, and that's why there's so many men, there's old men right now who are like, man, when I was 30, I met the one. And now you're either single or you're married to somebody you don't want to be married to because the one got away. No, she didn't get away. You just didn't treat her right. And then when you got to her, you didn't know how to treat her. So men, do yourself a service and treat women with respect. Do yourself a service and only associate with women that you feel are worthy of your respect. And the byproduct of that, guess what? She's probably going to give you pussy too. Yeah, she's going to give it to you too. And she's going to give it to you so good because you treat her so good. And you like it and you love it because she's treating you so good. And because she's treating you good, now you treating her good. And it's secular. That's how it works. So y'all are fighting so hard to just be whores when you're so much more.